Hey guys, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to a process video, and it's 217, and this layout was inspired by a challenge that I saw at scrapbook.com, and I believe the title of the challenge was Auld Lang Syne, and they basically had a list of manufacturers that are no longer in business or like old products, and they basically challenge you or whoever wants to do it to use some of the items on the list, and if you still have those items in your stash, to use them. And I really like those challenges because I hoard some old stuff, and so I went through the list, and the first thing that I wanted to use up was Basic Grey. I do have a paper pack that is has the Best of Basic Grey. I think it's Best of Basic Grey Volume 2 or something like that. And I still have a lot of papers from that, and so that's what I'm going to be using for this particular layout. Now this layout is just a single 4x6, and it just tells a story of the kind of road trip that we had on our way back from California. We always go to California once a year, and on our way back we got stuck on a behind an accident, and we were sitting like dead stop. We weren't moving for at least an hour, I think, and so I had to take a picture of that because it just barely happened when we came through it, and so you can see the big smoke. And I don't know if there was any casualties or any deaths. I just know that it was a truck, like one of those 18-wheeler truck, and it was yeah, it blew up and went up in smoke, and so it was just something that I wanted to document because that's part of this specific road trip that we had. So again, I am using some old stuff, and there was a lot of items on the list. I will try to link in the description box below the specific forum, but if you go to scrapbook.com, they have kind of a new forum design now, but you will see it there, and I will try to make sure I link it. And this design, I don't know if I just have this in my head or I was inspired by something. I really apologize because I'm not well prepared with this voiceover. I'm just, my kids are at school and I only had a half day at work, and so I'm trying to knock out a bunch of voiceovers so I can make sure that this gets posted sometime in during the month. But anyways, so basically I just grabbed two big 12 by 12 papers and then used them as the background, and then cut out, I think these ones are 2 1/4 inch strips, or width of strips of paper, and I think they're 2 1/4 by, no, actually they're 2 inches. I think they're 2 inches by, I want to say 10. And then I did round the corners of the edges of them just so that it will have a little bit of roundness there, and so they're not too like rigid lines. And then I did add a little bit more. I added some banners on the bottom of the photo, and also I'm going to add some banners on the top. I did ink up the edges with some brown ink from Ranger. And then I'm gonna go and pull out a few more things. So some of the things that I used here, of course, is Basic Grey. I plan on using, I apologize for that sound. I think that is my washing machine. That's kind of weird. It's never done that before. But anyways, I am going to, again, use Basic Grey as my papers. And then I am going to use some Making Memories letter stickers. I also am going to use some Cosmo Cricket. In the list there was Gossamer Blue, and I remember having stamps from them that I've been keeping, don't know why. I did pull out an Imaginist stamp that has florals, but I ended up not using that. I also pulled out some Hambly stickers, some October Afternoon stickers, and do you guys remember those word strips from Making Memories where it's just their theme, like there's some for travel, there's some for, I think, weddings, something like that. And so I have one for travel. Don't know why I've kept that sheet, but I have them. And so I'm going to use up some of those travel words to go with it. And I also have some, excuse me, some scenic route stickers that I'm going to be pulling out and trying to use here. So basically, this is a really deep stash dive for me, and I'm happy with the way it came together, and I hope that you will like it too. It doesn't look very dated, I hope not, but that's where I'm going to, that's what I'm using for this layout. So I've decided to cut out some circles to house my title. At first I was going to just use one circle, but then I figured I have all the papers, you know, my goal is to use them up, might as well just layer them. So I used my nested circle die from My Favorite Things for creating the nested circle. And I did figure that if I use a bold paper, that green one that have diamonds, and just use that as a mat, that it won't be like, it won't be too much for my background, because as you can see, it's already fully loaded with a lot of patterns. Now initially I was going to tuck that big circle, but then it just wouldn't work with those banners on the top, and so I am going to put that over my photo. Now I have these October afternoon stickers that I really don't have any use for. I don't use the sentiments anymore, so I decided that I would use one of them as a mat for that circle, for that black circle. And as you can see, the black circle actually acts as my visual triangle here. I have a banner on the top, I have a banner on the bottom, and then that circle on the left side. And so I wanted to use up these Hambly border stickers, and I decided to lay that just on top and bottom of my photo. And then I'm just going to tuck that into the circle. Now the bottom part, of course, won't be complete because I don't have a full 6-inch, but that's okay because that will be covered with the pink anyways. And then this pink circle, the smaller one, I decided to actually raise it up instead of tucking it in, just because it just didn't seem like it will have enough exposure, if that's even the word to use here, for if I tuck that in. Now I have this T in the Scenic Route sticker sheet, and it basically, the sheet that I had only had letters, just different letters, and so I decided to go with this T, and that's going to be the basis of my title, which would be Travel Notes. Yeah, I know I'm not very creative with my titles. That's something that I am, that's one of my weaknesses when it comes to scrapbooking, is I'm not very good at figuring out like really catchy titles, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with that. And so we're just going to kind of have a monogram of the travel, of the word travel, and then I'll just finish off all of the rest of the title with my letter stickers. Now again, I said I wanted to use up some Gossamer Blue items, and I have some stamps from them, and I decided to use this banner piece that will house my word travel, and then I will also stamp something to the lines of the photo was taken, and that would be where I would put my date. And initially I wanted to use an ink from Colorbox. I think this one is like a mixed media ink, and I thought I inked it enough, but when I pressed it there was really nothing that was coming out, and I was kind of bummed about that. So I am going to pull out my Distress ink pads. I do collect the small ones, and I think this was Cracked Pistachio, and I'm just going to put that over that, and then going to stamp it on this scrap of white paper, and then hand cut the image. And I have a foam on the bottom of my paper because I found that when I have a foam, the clear stamps works best because it has like that, you know, cushion to make sure that it all gets there. Now I will clean up my stamp, but right now I'm just in the zone of making, so I'm not even going to worry if I haven't cleaned that one. And then I am going to Sorry about that. And then now I'm going to go and cut the paper out, or the banner out. And the cutting of the shape actually worked to my advantage because some of the ink kind of bled through outside of the shape. And so for me to be able to kind of get rid of my mistake, I can just cut out the shape and no one will be the wiser that I didn't stamp that perfectly. Okay, so now on to the letters. I have these small letters from Making Memories, and so I wanted to use it up. Now, I have not pulled these stickers out in, I would say, at least 3 years. Like, it's just been sitting in my stash. It hasn't even been open. I don't even, like, when I make layouts, it doesn't even get to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't even consider it. And so it doesn't even get into that, you know, consider me pile. So it's been a long time since I pulled it, and I have realized that because the way that the letter stickers are not sticking anymore, you will see me have a hard time moving it around because it doesn't stick on there. I don't know if it's a combination of me using the distress ink that it's freshly inked, so it's not dry yet, that's why it's coming off, or it's just because it's old. So I'm guessing because it's old. So if you have some of these stickers, you might want to kind of considering at least airing them out or like just checking them, because yeah, mine was not sticking. You will see me later kind of have a hard time, and it even affected like the fun foam that I'm using here. But the reason I'm saying that is because I am worried that I might have to just use a different letter sticker for this just because it's not sticking. But I'm just gonna show you what I want to use initially for this layout. It might change once I take a picture of this layout, you know, to share in this video, but this is kind of my game plan right now. But I'm already thinking that this is not going to last between me finishing the layout and the layout getting into a sheet protector into my album. So, but right now, that's going to go there. I just feel like it's going to fall off as soon as I lift the page. Anyways, so I have settled with travel. Now I'm going to go and spell out notes, and I have these red glittered stickers from Making Memories. But the problem with old stickers is that I don't realize that I don't have the letters that I need. The red one didn't have any more O's or T's, and so I have to move on and find a different different stickers. And these tiny types from Cosmic Cricut was just fine, and it wasn't, you know, there was still stickiness in there, so I'm going to go with that one to spell the word notes. And now that I have my title, I can move on to finishing off that cluster onto the left, and I will add that pink circle with some fun foam. Now this is just regular fun foam that on one side I put some adhesive sheets from Glue Dots. Now that's a new product that I think came out in 2020, might not. See, I used to, up until the end of last year, I was designing for them, and so I usually get, you know, some products that are coming out of the pipeline but maybe hasn't come out yet. So I'm crossing my fingers that by the time you see it, it's already out there for you to purchase. But it's pretty good. It's like those sticky sheets that card makers use. I can't remember the name of the brand. Is it Stickio, Stick something, Stick It? I think that's what it's called. It's basically like that, but it's a Glue Dots, the Glue Dots version, and it's pretty good. So I would put one sheet of that onto a big block of fun foam, and then I would cut them in little pieces. I don't do the other side because I figured I would put adhesive onto whatever that's going to get on anyways. So that's why there's only one side. Now, the journaling for this, I had printed off and kind of did them, or I could use them as strips. And that was initially what I wanted to do, but because of kind of constraints with time, and I was kind of feeling lazy of cutting them into strips, I just decided to use them as a big block. Now, I did remember that I had a few more stickers from the October Afternoon sheet that was plain. It didn't have any words, so I can use them. And so I'm using this tab sticker, and sorry that the video cut off, but basically I just finished it off with some enamel dots. Here are some close-ups, and I hope that I will see you guys in another video. Thank you. Bye.